Hi gang, so it is January and I just thought I'd take this chance to show you guys what I'm working on right now. This is kind of just my relaxation project. I'm sure many of you have seen on Pinterest, and if you've checked out my Pinterest page, you've seen it a few times, the temperature Afghans. So the idea behind it is that every day you crochet or knit a row, and that row, the color of that row corresponds with what the high temperature of the day was. Now there are many different ones, so I thought I'd just share mine, share what I'm doing, and share some things that I've kind of found out along the way already. It started January 1st, and today is January 14th, so we're a little less than halfway through the month, and just kind of learning, but I've already learned so much about this project, so you guys can learn from me and kind of have an easier time of it. So the first thing I want to say is find a website that you really trust, that you have easy access to for the weather temperatures, because realistically there probably is going to be something that comes up that you don't get to do your row that day. So you want to have something where you can look back and figure out what happened that month. I am currently using weather.com, which is the Weather Channel's website. So that's where I'm getting all my information. And another really cool thing about the Weather Channel website, which you'll find out why it's important to me, but you can do multiple cities too. So you can look up where you are, or where your child or grandchild or parent or whoever, maybe you're making the Afghan for somebody and would like to look it up, what their weather is in their area. So that's where I started. Then you'll see, if you go to Pinterest, you'll see tons and tons of different color combinations. The majority of them start out with a rainbow of colors, and I'll show you my colors here. But the general consensus of all of these that I have found has been using the rainbow, so Roy J. Biv. And it goes from hottest to coldest. So red being your hottest color and violet being your coolest color. Now, it being winter in December, I had to pick my cool colors first, and I started with the purple. So I'm going to kind of move you guys a little bit and see if I can show you the colors here. Okay, so here we have our colors. And forgive the shaky cam a little bit, but I'm going to kind of show you guys the colors I'm starting out with. And it being December, I thought I would be pretty safe to only go up to 60 or 70 degrees. So I have stopped at this harvest yellow color. As you can see, the majority of my colors are blues and purples. But that's my color selection. Now, another note on the color selection, you may want to consider the area that you're in. Does your area experience a lot of high climates? Do you go below 0? And I'm working in Fahrenheit, so my reflect that. But depending on your area, you may want to vary the temperature a little bit. So, like here in Ohio, we can go anywhere from 0 to dipping below 0 to 100 degrees, and we dip above 100 every now and then, but it's not that prevalent that we go up high. So my thermometer scale will go from 0 to 100. Anything below 0 will stay that 0 color. Anything above 100 will stay that 100 color. I'm not expecting to have to deal with that too often. However, if you're in, say, a milder climate, you may want to vary your color degrees even closer than mine, because mine are in 10-degree differences. You may want to go in 5-degree differences. You may want to go in, you know, 2-degree differences. You know, the options are completely up to you. One thing I will say that I did that has helped keep me kind of in order is on the label here. Let's see if you guys can see that. You'll see I have the temperature written on my label, so I know what color is what. And it's going to be a little bit weird because I know the camera has it backwards, but this is 10 to 19 degrees. And it goes on until, again, my harvest is 70 to 79. So that's pretty much your basics. The next thing you have to do is decide to stitch. I'm just doing a simple double crochet. I had the idea to do a granny stitch, which would be kind of cool to do granny squares and have the low in the center and the high on the outside of the granny square. Would be a lot of fun. You could also take this into quilts. You could do a quilt as you go, doing a log cabin quilt, and each block be a different month. That would be pretty cool. You could do pretty much anything. The sky is the limit once you guys have the basic idea down. So those are my basic tips here. I wanted to kind of give you a demonstration of what I'm doing here, because I'm doing things a little bit different. I'm only doing 100 stitches, but I'm doing 2 different ones at the same time. Like I said, you might want to know where a loved one, their weather, temperature, if you're going to give it to them, or even just to kind of feel close to them a little bit, do their temperature. So that's what I'm doing, is I am doing Ohio, Hamilton, Ohio. And I'm also doing Dublin, Ireland, because I have loved ones there. So I thought it would be really cool to kind of get an idea of how our temperatures vary. And you'll see here I have Hamilton, Ohio. Oops, sorry, upside down. So we started out pretty cold there in the teens. Got up to above 40, then back into the teens, into the 30s, into the 40s, into the 60s, and now we're getting kind of chilly again. So the other one here is Dublin, and he's still attached here. But this is what I mean by you may want to consider your area's weather, because as you can see, Dublin is pretty mild. They've pretty much stayed in the 40s and haven't gone much beyond the 10-degree area. So if I were doing just an Afghan for them and not trying to get the comparison, I would probably choose a wider variety of colors. So instead of doing 10-degree differences, I would probably do a 5-degree difference just to get some different colors in there. But I wanted to make sure that I keep the same colors, the same temperatures, so that the comparison could be very easily seen, because the rows will line up pretty nicely. So that is kind of my project that I'm doing in my downtime, when I get downtime. So just my relaxation project. I would love to hear what you guys are doing with your thermometer pieces. If you're doing a thermometer piece, please feel free to share it in the comments. Let me know if you're doing something different, if you're doing a different knit, if you're doing one of the scarves, even if you're doing it in fabrics or embroidery. That would be really cool. Weaving would be a really fun one to do. So just let me know what projects you're working on, and we'll keep you up to date as I continue on with mine. Check out the blog. I will post a link in the comments about the blog so that you can get updated information on what I'm doing. Check me out on Facebook, Instagram, all the places. So have a great week, guys.